All right, so I wasn't gonna record this, but then when I'm looking at this, I'm like, no, I gotta put this on camera because this is amazing. I mean, the root systems of my papaya tree. The reason I'm doing this is because, I mean, I'm watering the plant and I'm noticing that all the water is just coming out the bottom. There was basically no absorption of moisture. You can see the condition of the tree. The tree looks beautiful, healthy, looks great. However, I started to notice that when it looks like this, it's not really absorbing nutrients. So, you know, what I was doing is cleaning out the roots of the tree, and this is what the roots of this massive tree looks like. Okay, and it was in this pot. Okay, so what I'm doing basically now is shaking out the old soil that's been compacted. It wasn't really even compacted into the roots of this tree, but what I like to do is just give it some new nutrients and just replant it back in this pot. But this is what it basically looks like. As you can see, look at the size of these roots. You know what I'm saying? And then normally what I do is I dump this in water. However, this is too big. I usually put it in one of the bins over there that has rainwater collected. But what I'm gonna do is put this very carefully on the ground, like that. And then what I'll do is take this soil is basically fresh soil that I was using yesterday when I was transplanting my avocados, along with some of the soil that was in there. What I want to do is just add some compost to this, which already had compost, but I want to add a little bit more, and then just plant the tree again. Now, I want to show you one thing. So I took out all the old soil. This is basically like 3 years old, and I'm gonna buy another pot. But however, I don't have pots this year, and I'm not really gonna go buy pots until the springtime. But I've added some sticks under here, as you can see from the mulch pile that I have. So now what I want to do is get some compost. From my pile. In here with this soil that I have right now. This is all compost. Now there's a good amount of peat moss. You can see there's still like unbroken down eggshells in here, but that's good because that's actually very good calcium, and it will break down in here. It was very soft and brittle, so it's in the process of actually breaking down. Now the tree before was at level. What I like to do is, this is the #1 tip because I killed already a couple of my papaya trees, is making sure you don't bury the trunk too deep. Okay, so I'm going to show you right now what I'm going to do, along with a little trick to keep the soil from flooding over. I would say I'm almost there. So this is what I do. I will take this tree, I'll position it basically, I would say right about there. Come close so that you can see the roots over here real quick. So right now what I'm doing is I'm spreading the roots out a little bit, okay? Now, I do anchor this pot when I do place it down, because, I mean, heavy winds can knock the tree over, which has happened to me before. So what I'll do is fill all this up here with soil. You guys could also fast forward this part if it's boring. But make sure that when you bury the tree, you don't bury it above this line here where you see your roots, because the trunk will rot. And I've already done that mistake, and I rotted out a few of my plants. In fact, a little bit of roots showing from the top base of the trunk is not a problem at all. When we do fill all this up, you guys got to see this now, right? This is basically where I add all this soil on top, and then I'm gonna this is where I utilize the wood chips to my advantage. Okay, so probably saying, wow, you're probably saying that the soil is going to erupt over the pot. As you can see, it is now. I want you to take a little close look over here real quick. You see the roots on top? This little base right here is exposed. That's what I want. I planted it a lot higher than it originally was, okay? But when I do is now I take some of the follow me over there to the wood chip pile real quickly. I'll show you. I'm gonna get some wood chips real quick. Now what I do is I will basically add the mulch on top of this. Keeping in mind to keep the base free and clear. All this is cured all that is cured wood chips. I'm going to show you how the watering process works in particular. Let me show you how the watering process works in particular, and then we're pretty much done with that. So you're going to notice something here, that the soil will now get moist and stabilize the roots. But you'll also notice one very interesting thing. you don't see any soil coming out the sides because the wood chips are holding the soil in place. You see? You only see clean water coming out. Now, what I do is I wet the base like this. See that? And you don't see any, you still don't see any soil coming out. You see that? So, I'm wetting the wood chips to make it nice and compact. They're on top. Because if I didn't have those wood chips on top, and I would have just watered it, all the soil would have came out. So what I did was I gave it room for the roots to just basically kind of look like a volcano type of look to go down. And I also am making the most room out of a pot that's not that big. So this I think is like a 15-gallon pot. And what's happening now is that the roots will anchor a little bit easier on the soil because I'm wetting the soil down. So that's about it. So that one is transplanted. What I will do when I put it where I want it to be, I get one of these, but I have a bigger one. So I get one of these and I will tie it on the ground and then basically support the tree just so that the tree doesn't tip over, because right now it's still a little bit, you know, it's not so strong because of the fact that, you know, it's a big ass tree. It's top heavy. So I've got other papaya trees which I want to show you actually real quick over here before we hang up this video. Right over here. Like this one here is beautiful. But let me show you the base if you just come a little bit closer. Look at the base of this. You see how the roots are exposed on that? Okay. In the next video, I'm also going to show you another little trick as to why the leaves, I already have a video on it, why the lower leaves yellow. And I've actually found something else out as to why the lower leaves yellow. And I'm going to show you that in the next video. But this is a beautiful tree, as you can see, right? Roots are exposed. These trees are phenomenal. We'll talk some.